Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are on this journey to love. And so, what I want to share today is 3 letters from the Divine Love Letter books that I do. And these are all channeled letters from your twins or your higher selves or soul group family. And recently, I've been starting to channel letters from your guides. And overnight, I had some emails from people. And the letter numbers are 49, 43, and also then for me it was letter 18. And what I sort of shared yesterday that, you know, for me, for my dynamic with my twin, it's definitely breaking down sexual templates and also addiction, and which are which are really key in our kind of dynamic. And what I've felt really strongly recently is this real, whenever I think, for me and my twin, I always feel like a real child. Like, I feel like we're like toddlers, basically, which is another thing that I always say is about if you view each other as toddlers, taking each other by the hand, you can really help each other on this journey because it strips you back to the basics of being a pure heart before you have taken on kind of these energies about, what it is, whatever it is that you have to break down for your dynamic. And so I always see my twin like that toddler, and he always makes me feel like I'm a toddler, like a kid again. And so that is the guidance for today, to always view each other as children, as you're basically taking each other by the hand as toddlers, and really helping each other on this journey. The other thing I have to say is that I've had emails from people overnight again, and it's so collectively how things happen, but again, people saying that, oh, my twin has blocked me on social media, I've been to a medium, and they've told me that I'm not going to be with them, and I'm going to be with someone else. Now, the thing about that is that, firstly, social media and whether they block you or not is neither here nor there. Because, I'll tell you that I actually deleted my twin completely we used to communicate, we do communicate via WhatsApp. And I deleted him completely because I couldn't handle having that. I couldn't handle even seeing him in my contact list, or even having, I just had to, because I didn't know what the connection was about. And I didn't know anything about twin flames. And all I knew is that I had to be with him. So the thought of seeing him when he was, even seeing his picture, when I knew that he hadn't chosen me, or at the time I thought he'd chosen someone else. He had, because he had to go on his own journey. And I understand and I appreciate that fully now. But at the time I didn't, so I just deleted him. And I can imagine how painful that would have been for him, now knowing what I do know. Because he would have just seen that suddenly I was gone from his list as well, because that's how it works on WhatsApp. If you delete somebody or delete the account, they just vanish completely. So, of course, he would have just seen that I totally vanished. And so for him, now understanding why, that would have been horrendous. But it was because I didn't know what else to do. And that was my only coping mechanism, was to do that. But it had no bearing whatsoever on the fact that I loved him and that I wanted to be with him. It was self-preservation. So that's the first thing. So don't take whatever happens on social media as, a link as to whether they're your twin or not. The second thing is about a medium telling you that they see you as someone else. I had a medium reading done just shortly after. I didn't know anything about twin flames. And I had a psychic, and I went to a person. Now, this actual person was a guy, and he said that I would be meeting somebody, and that it would be amazing, and that it would be fulfill the life of my dreams and all of these amazing things. But he saw it as a different person than my twin, and I was absolutely devastated. But now, on reflection, what he was seeing was it was my twin, but the energy around the characteristics of what my twin was when he comes back into my life is what he was reading. So he was seeing an energy that was completely different to the energy that I had been experiencing, because of the energy that we are when we meet, because we need to go on our own healing journey to then what we become when we come back together. And so, of course, again, I can see that what that reader was telling me, he was reading the energies around the person, and the person was still my twin. It's just that it was him when he'd gone through his journey and done his healing and becoming more and more of his soul self. And so that's the other thing, because only you know your truth. Because when I had that reading, it was right at the beginning when I'd gone into separation from my twin. I didn't know anything about the twin flame journey. It then has since then has been 4 or 5 years. And it's taken me years to develop my intuition, trusting my intuition, a daily spiritual practice, lots of courses, lots of going within, basically, because actually I know now that I am my own best source of guidance. So I've developed that and developed it because what happened was I sought guidance from other people at the beginning, because I wasn't tapped into my own guidance, because that takes time. You can't, that doesn't just happen overnight. That's like I say, it's taken me 4 or 5 years of daily practice. And I mean, I dedicated my entire life to it, because I was forced into that, life circumstances forced me into that path. Because obviously I was meant to be doing what I'm doing now and doing the healing and all that stuff. But at the time, of course I wasn't aware of that at all. So I had a few readings where they were, where they said that this person, it was going to be a different person. And I remember, because I was absolutely devastated. But the universe, if that happens to you, then ask for signs from your twin spirit to guide you. Because what happened for me, another one that I had, she said the same thing. Said that I wouldn't be with this person, I'd be with someone else. And then what happened was the next day, I think if you follow my channel, then ducks are a massive sign for me. A duck mates for life, and it's also very specific for me. And the next day, the road that I was driving along was stopped. All of the cars were stopped on it because there was a mother with her family of ducks walking across the street. And so all of the cars had to stop to wait for this family of ducks to walk across the road. And so I was like, okay, I know. So that's the thing. You have to trust in your own heart. Trust in your own guidance. Because actually nobody can say. Because what they're seeing is they're seeing an energy of a person. Now, I know that everyone has their own skill and their own gifts about what they can see. But really, your heart is your best navigator system. So if somebody tells you something and it feels wrong to the core of you, it's because it's wrong. It's because it's not your truth. And so if your emotional barometer is your heart, and if somebody tells you something that puts you way off your emotion, if sends you off your even keel, let's say, it's because it doesn't ring true for you, and therefore it's not your truth. So that's when you think, okay, well, I know that didn't feel right. If it doesn't feel right, it's not your truth. And therefore you have to focus on something going within to really get the answers, because nobody can give you the answers to your path. Because even if you come to me, I can categorically say that you are, whether you are or not a twin. And I have absolutely no doubt about that either. I am completely 100%, what's the word? I'm 100% confident in that because of the experiences that I've had. But that doesn't mean to say that I can read your future to tell you you will be with your twin. I can certainly say, if you're a twin flame and you've met, and I can see that, then your destiny is to be together. Your destiny is to fulfill a mission on this planet. And that's why you were brought together, and that's why you're here, to create love and light on the planet. But then it's up to you whether you fulfill that destiny. Do you want to fulfill that destiny, or do you want to take a different path? Because you could meet somebody else and take a different path. That's where it is. It's not like, my firm belief is, if you're a twin flame, your destiny, your soul destiny, your highest path is to come together with your twin in this life, to spread love and light on the planet, and to raise the planet in love. If you want to stay on that highest path, then that's the guidance that I share on my channel, because that's what I'm being guided to do. And I know for sure that I want to stay on my soul destined path. There's no question about that, because I know that leads me to my twin, and that's where my heart calls for. That's my truth, right? So, and I never would want to tell somebody, because people ask me, should I contact them, should I not? I'm like, only you know that, right? And you can never ever step a foot wrong as well. The other thing is, if somebody tells you something and it doesn't feel right, it's because it's not right for you. The other thing is that you can't step a foot wrong. So if you are going down a different path and you're wanting to be with somebody else for a bit, then it's just that it's not your time yet. And that's absolutely fine as well. Because if you want to seek to have, comfort from somebody else, or that's another part of your journey and a part of your path to get you to your twin. So again, that is all cool. But really, I guess for today, it's about saying trust in your heart, and really trust in your own intuition, and use tools that will help you tap in to your intuition, which is why I've been guided to do these books. This taps you in straight away to that love vibration, because it is a difficult journey, because those questions, trusting your intuition is really the biggest thing. So I hope that helps, and I really feel for you, because I absolutely have been there, and I know what it felt like, and I was devastated. But the reason why I felt devastated was because it wasn't my truth. And it took me years to uncover that more and more and more and more, until the point now that I just know. So trust me, you'll get there. All right, I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.